Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This week has been such a busy week with Easter and all sorts of things going on at work and at home, so I'm only just getting around to this video today, but I hope you enjoy it. I've enjoyed making it. It's a little accordion tag pocket album, plenty of names for it there, and it also uses one 12 by 12 sheet of paper to make the base. Now the papers I've used for this one are lovely. They are Mintay's See You in Paris. So I used one sheet of the 12 by 12 that I had for the base, and to decorate and to make the little tags in it I used papers from the 6 by 8 pad. So they're lovely pinks and peaches with material and embroidered backgrounds, pink pictures of the Eiffel Tower, some vintage papers on the back there. I'll just give you a flick through, and there's also some cut aparts in this line as well. Nice big door there. Lovely florals to cut up, and also some cut apart images of Paris, iconic macarons, wine, books and suitcases, Champs-Elysees, baguettes and croissants, and perfume. A lovely background piece there. Great papers for layering up, and here's another one of a vintage invoice. Little Eiffel Towers there, more receipt papers. That one resembles lovely embroidered material there, silks, and then it repeats itself again with some stripies on the back of these cut aparts. So those are what I've used to create my tags with. Then there is a packet of die cuts, 60 die cuts. I've used those to decorate my tags and pockets too. You can see you get absolutely masses in these little packs. That's that one. And then I have used some from the sticker sentiments and the sticker sheets, which is more of similar images there. And loads of sentiments in this, you can see. Paris themed, but also just general travel and love themed, really. You can do that at any time of the year, can't you? So that's what I've used in those. So this is my little album, and it ties here at the side. I've added one of the stickers together on the front there, and this piece, the postage stamp, was cut from the papers. This is one of the little die cuts, the flowers, and I've added some pearls and just layered those up. And I've had this very thin ribbon, so I anchored that underneath this layer that I've created. So when you open it up, inside, if I pop that down, that might be easier, might not come down that way. Inside, I've got my little first tags. I created a little banners out of the paper just to break the background up slightly. You can see I've got macarons and flowers there. And then on my tags, I added a little eyelet, popped some coordinating black dotty ribbon through, and punched the corners. You can just see there. And on this one I decided to just do a little bit of doodling around the outside, so that pen mark is me doodling around there. And I also used Mintay's vellum. I added an oval on each sheet of the tags so that it broke the background up slightly, and there you can see that fits in the pocket here. Then I've got another one here, Let's Travel Together. Suitcases on there. I outlined the Let's Travel Together. Pop that one in. So you can slot pictures in here, and I've left all the backs blank so you can add a 2 by 2 or longer picture to the back there. Another one here, Best Time Ever, with the camera die cut and some of the macarons there. This one, Be Mine Forever, just with the locks and keys. You can add your picture and some journaling on the back of there. This one at the middle here makes a pocket in itself, so I created a small file folder just from the papers, and with a little tab there. I've not decorated that, I can just pop some things on there afterwards, and that just fits nicely into there with a little bit of interest with that popping out. You can pop another sentiment on there if you like. Flipping again, another tag. This time I didn't put the sentiment on the tag. I put that on the bottom here with a little fishtail banner. Little cat from the collection, ooh la la, and the metro sign, and more detail on there. And then finally flicking over, just get that in place, flicking over on this one, we've got another love themed with the champagne, pink champagne on there. Pop that inside there. And then it wouldn't be France or Paris without a croissant. So I did that one on there. And my husband likes quite a lot of croissants. He's always, not from Paris, more from Marks and Spencer's, he likes those. So I'm going to pop a picture of him on the back of that one. And then that's the back of my papers there. And it all ties up. And I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to show you how to make the base of this. And then you can decorate it or use whatever papers you like. So let's move that aside. So I got the basic idea of this from a lady called Paige Taylor Evans. You can search for her on the internet. She's got all sorts of beautiful, brightly coloured projects. And this one was one I saw on her site. And I've just altered it slightly just to put the pocket in and then decorated it in my own style. So this is what you need. One 12 by 12 piece of paper. This is all in inches. And on one side you need to score at 3, 6 and 9 inches. You then need to turn it, and you need to score it on the other side at 1.5. You can't see that, that might help my nail, I'll just leave it here. 1.5, 6 and 10.5 inches. Now on this 6-inch line, if you've got it this way, whichever way, it doesn't really matter, but from one side you need to cut along to the 3-inch mark. So this part will be cut. So I hope that's self-explanatory there. Just score 3, 6 and 9, scored at 1.5, 6 and 10.5, and on this middle line cut back to the intersection at 3 inches. So this will be 3 inches left and this will be cut. So I'll pop that on the screen a bit longer. Hopefully you should be able to get the details of that. So I've got my sheet here, and I've just used this, let's come out a bit, this 12 by 12, which I've got in my stash. That's just so that it showed a good contrast for you there, and that hopefully you could see the score lines. So this is our 1.5 inch line, our 6-inch line, and our 10.5 inch line, and then you should be able to see the 3, 6 and 9. So this part now we need to cut across here. I've already scored mine just to save time. We need to cut across here in the middle to where we intersect at 3 inches. Now if you've got a guillotine, you can just use your guillotine along there. Okay, so there it is, really simple. So now all you need to do on this 1.5 inch line, which is why you really want double-sided papers, because you're going to get this contrast. So you want to fold that up, give it a good burnish down, and then you want to take this top piece and you want to fold that down as well, and this will make your pockets like so. Now I'm going to turn mine now to the opposite direction because I'm right-handed and this feels a bit more easier for me. So with my cut here, this first pocket is going to make my front cover. So I'm going to fold it to make my front cover. And as I fold, I'm going to burnish my score lines. Now you really want to keep at this because you want to keep it neat. And then you want to accordion it back on itself. So we accordion that way, fold on our score lines, keep it squared. Give it a good squish down. So now you've got this going on. Then what you want to do is fold this over like that. So now your pattern is this way. And then if we flip that back so that you can see where we're at, you now just want to accordion along this way. So we can fold it here and then accordion this one back on itself. Let's get that right. Give that a flip. And there we now have this going on. Now this part in the middle is where I've made my pocket. So let's go to that part, which is here. So all I'm going to do, just see which the easiest way is for, I'm going to glue along the back panel. Let's do it like this. I'm going to glue along here and here. So you want to get it quite close to the edge. So let's just see where we're at with this. Get my glue. I'm just going to pop my glue down this edge, because that's your back, and along this bottom edge here. You don't want to make it too wide because you don't want to shorten your pocket. So there we go. You can square everything up, you can trim, see where I've got slightly bigger there, trim at the top. Just give that a flatten down, and that now gives you this pocket here. Once this is stuck, obviously, like that. Give that a chance to stick. Now, like I say, I added something to the front of mine. I created this little panel, and underneath I tucked a piece of ribbon. Now you can do exactly the same, tuck a piece of ribbon so that it's just held on there, or you can use a fancy elastic you can put around it, or you can use the bulldog clip. It's up to you. So now we've got this going on, and all you need to do now to hold these pockets in place is to add some glue just on these seams. So if I show you where I mean, get that on camera. This is my big glue, which is not ideal. I needed to have my small one, and just on these edges here, so that when I fold that up and give that time to set, I've now got little pockets all the way along there. I'm going to do the same with this. Put my glue here, down each little seam. Doesn't need much, just a touch on the seams. And you burnish those really well, so that should all stay down great. And then just give these a chance to set in place. And that is the basis of your album, like so. So while that's just gluing, I just wanted to tell you about the tags. So to fit the tags in here, so now you can see what we've got. This is where we've got our little file folder. I'll just give you the measurements for the file folder actually. File folder is 5.5 by 4, and I scored at 2.5, and then all I did is cut away this section. So I cut up, made myself a little you see that, cut up there, made myself a little tab, and then I rounded the corners, and that literally just fits in here. So yours will fit in here perfectly in, like so. And then you can decorate that however you like. So let's pop that back in there. Now to make these tags, let's pick this lighter coloured one. Let's move that just for a second. To make the tag, this piece of, the pieces of card I used were 4 by 2.5. Was it 2.5? Yeah, 4 by 2.5 inches. So here's my 4 by 2.5 inch piece, and I just made my first tag, made the cut off the corner, turn that over and use that as a template for the other side, like so. And then for the other, so you need 6. For the others, I just pop this on the top of each one and use this template for first card. However you want to do it, I've done a shorter angle there, but on this one you can see I've done a deeper angle, so it's up to you what you want to do. Then I've punched a hole in. I added an eyelet, but you really don't need to because you can't see them that much. And I did a small piece of ribbon through. And I also used dug in my stash and got a corner punch out. Can you see that there? To do the corners. And then it's literally just decorating them up how you like. I also used an oval punch to add these vellum pieces. And it really makes a cute project for an afternoon or evening. And by the time you start decorating, you can really go to town on it. But there is also quite a lot of space to put pictures in here and room in these pockets to add other things behind. So as long as you give yourself room, because it's quite a chunky little album, and also you can add pictures to the back. If you want to add your pictures on there, you can get these at 4.5 by 3, so you can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. Depending on how you decorate the cover, you can add one on there. And then simply tie up all your pictures and journaling, and you've got a lovely little keepsake. And like I say, I've not got pictures of Paris, but I've got pictures of places we've been to and together. So that's what I'm making my version of this See You in Paris paper work for me. So I hope you like that tutorial and you give it a go, because it really is an easy one and it's so effective. I mean, that's a spare piece of paper I had, and even with that looks so nice in the purple. So have a look what you've got in your stash and have a go. So I'd look forward to hearing what you think. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.